West Africa or Western Africa is the westernmost region of Africa. The United Nations defines Western Africa as the 16 countries of Benin, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone and Togo, as well as the United Kingdom Overseas Territory of St. Helena, Ascension and Tristan da Cunha. The population of West Africa is estimated at about 381 million people as of 2018, and at 381,981,000 as of 2017, of which 189,672,000 are female and 192,309,000 male. Studies of human mitochondrial DNA suggest that all humans share common ancestors from Africa, originated in the southwestern regions near the coastal border of Namibia and Angola at the approximate coordinates 12.5 degrees east, 17.5 degrees south, with a divergence in the migration path around 37.5 degrees east, 22.5 degrees north near the Red Sea. A particular haplogroup of DNA, haplogroup L2, evolved between 87,000 and 107,000 years ago, or approx. 90,000 YBP. Its age and widespread distribution and diversity across the continent makes its exact origin point within Africa difficult to trace with any confidence. However, an origin for several L2 groups in West or Central Africa seems likely. With the highest diversity in West Africa, most of its subclades are largely confined to West and Western Central Africa. Africans bearing the AV38 likely traversed across the Sahara from east to west, approximately 19,000 years ago. AM2 likely originated in West Africa or Central Africa, due to the large numbers of West Africans enslaved in the Atlantic slave trade. Most African Americans, Afro-Latin Americans and Black Caribbeans are likely to have mixed ancestry from different regions of Western Africa. 60% of African Americans were of the A1B1A haplogroup, within which 22.9% were particularly of the AM2 haplogroup. They also possessed numerous SNPs. According to a 2020 study by Durvasula et al., there are indications that 2% to 19% of the DNA of 4 West African populations may have come from an unknown archaic hominin, which split from the ancestor of humans and Neanderthals between 360 kya to 1.02 Maya. However, the study also finds that at least part of this proposed archaic admixture is also present in Eurasians, non-Africans, and that the admixture event or events range from 0 to 124 kbp, which includes the period before the out-of-Africa migration and prior to the African-Eurasian split. The history of West Africa can be divided into 5 major periods. First, its prehistory, in which the first human settlers arrived, developed agriculture, and made contact with peoples to the north. The second, the Iron Age Empire that consolidated both intra-Africa and extra-Africa trade, and developed centralized states. Third, major polities flourished, which would undergo an extensive history of contact with non-Africans. Fourth, the colonial period, in which Great Britain and France controlled nearly the entire region. And fifth, the post-independence era, in which the current nations were formed. Archaeological evidence from central Mali indicates that West African peoples had independently invented pottery in the region by that period. It is believed that local peoples at that time had begun to become more settled, and to use pottery to store and cook indigenous grains. At Gobo, the Kifian, who were hunters of tall stature, lived during the Green Sahara between 10,000 and 8,000 years ago. The Tenerian, who were a more lightly built people that hunted, fished and herded cattle, lived during the latter part of the Green Sahara approximately 7,000 to 4,500 years ago. Sedentary farming began in or around the 5th millennium BC, as well as the domestication of cattle. Though there is some uncertainty, some archaeologists believe that iron metallurgy was developed independently in sub-Saharan Africa. Smelting furnaces appear in the Nok culture of central Nigeria by about 550 BC and possibly a few centuries earlier. Ironworking technology allowed an expansion of agricultural productivity, and the first city-states later formed. Northern tribes developed walled settlements and non-walled settlements that numbered at 400. In the forest region, Iron Age cultures began to flourish, and an inter-region trade began to appear. The desertification of the Sahara and the climate change of the coast caused trade with upper Mediterranean peoples to be seen. The domestication of the camel allowed the development of a trans-Saharan trade with cultures across the Sahara, including Carthage and the Berbers. Major exports included gold, cotton cloth, metal ornaments, iron, and leather goods, which were then exchanged for salt, horses, textiles, and other such materials. Local leather, cloth, and gold also contributed to the abundance of prosperity for many of the following empire. The development of the region's economy allowed more centralized states and civilizations to form. Beginning with Dhr Tichit that began I.